Luke 21:26 talks about the sea and the waves roaring. And we can see that on the border of Nepal and China here. Well, today, I don't know how long ago this took place, but I imagine this was on the border of China and Nepal. So I imagine last night, our time, because they're like a day ahead of us. But anyway, here we go. Please keep these folks in your prayers. There's no sound to the video. But yeah, you can see people starting to get out of their way. The birds are getting out of harm's way as well. So they must be able to hear it coming. I can't imagine how that feels, other than looking at it on video here. But look at these waves coming in, guys. And keep in mind, in those waves are all kinds of debris that these waters have picked up along the way. So everything is being obliterated here. And we need to keep these folks in China and Nepal in our prayers. Wow. Father, please be with your people there in Jesus' mighty name. Holy buckets. That's total destruction. That is what I would call sudden destruction right there. Wow. Unbelievable. If you don't think we're in the end times and you're watching this, I don't know what else to show you. I mean, it's everywhere, right? I mean, look at disaster news here on Telegram. This is down in Venezuela, in Caracas. More from Caracas, Venezuela. That was actually last night. And then today, Taiwan is flooding. 6.0 in Japan. Hokkaido. I mean, it just keeps going. How many seven plus earthquakes have we had this year alone? I have to go look that up one of these days. There's been a lot. And it's not normal. Wildfires. This is down in Indonesia. Who's also been hit by flooding, and they've got volcanoes going off, and earthquakes are always hitting Indonesia because they're in a really bad spot there in the Ring of Fire, Pacific Ring of Fire. So get ready, guys. Jesus Christ is returning soon, and he's the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody gets reconciled to the Father but through him. Seek him now while there's still time, because it's running out. Time, that is. Look at this. Britain warned that it faces military retaliation from Russia. The king leaves Buckingham Palace. Prime Minister leaves number 10 Downing Street. Britain is under threat of military retaliation from Russia on account of the strikes being launched by Ukraine using British-supplied Storm Shadow cruise missiles. Lavrov, the prime minister from Russia, the foreign minister from Russia, was just in the press last week saying that there will be retaliation on Great Britain. Now look at all of this. From War Monitor over on Twitter, British Prime Minister Andy Burnham has been informed that Britain faces military retaliation from Russia due to its support for Ukraine and needs to be prepared for immediate action. So the dangers now proceed to be so serious that King Charles and his family are reportedly no longer using Buckingham Palace, and Prime Minister Andy Burnham is reportedly no longer using the Prime Minister's official residence at number 10 Downing Street. No, because they know that they're targets, right? Right here from Jen K on Twitter. Does anyone else find it really odd that the royal family has moved out of Buckingham Palace and the Prime Minister has moved out of 10 Downing Street? Why? What's going on? War is going on. It's a sobering thought, but the king has moved out of Buckingham Palace and number 10 has moved up to north. Something big is coming. There we go. Of course, the media in Britain is painting this as a new international tour, right? But there it is, UK and France to provide long-range missile technology to Ukraine. So that same British media has been hyping Ukraine and not been telling the British people that Ukraine is now losing badly. Hence, the Brits are likely to be sitting ducks if and when Russian retaliation occurs, which obviously it looks like it's going to occur pretty soon. If the king has moved out of his palace and the prime minister has left 10 Downing Street, I mean, why else would they? There's at least a big threat of Russia retaliating very soon, or they wouldn't be moving. So we just have to keep our head on the swivel, prayed up and prepped up at all times, but no fear, because God doesn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So keep your focus on Jesus Christ. Pray like you've never prayed before for discernment, perception, insight, and understanding, so you know what to do and when. Okay? But being prayed up first is the best preparation you can make. That's why I always say it in that order. And that'll be it for this particular episode. We're going to keep it short and pithy here on this morning broadcast. But don'tspeaknews.com is home base for everything that we do. I put all kinds of stories here that we just can't speak about anywhere else. Stories like this one here. You know, a lot of stories that we got taken down on YouTube twice for putting up. So both channels had over 15,000 subscribers, and now it is what it is. I just put this up last night, about the Middle East, Gordian knot getting more entangled. Zionist Israel confronts Muslim NATO amidst Trump's chaotic U.S. aggression. So a lot of good stuff here to read from Drago Brosnik. Guest post here from him. Reposted with permission, of course. But yeah, all about the Middle East and how it's always been a highly complex region, and especially when it comes to prophecy. So anyway, read this and you'll see more prophecy unfolding towards Armageddon. But I'm not going to get into it now because it's quite lengthy, and I'm trying to keep these a little shorter if I can. But if you'd like to subscribe or contact me, there's a box at the bottom of every article where you can subscribe. There'll be one pop-up while you're reading an article, but that's it. And then subscribe and contact me. You can click on this. The contact email is don'tspeaknews at Proton Mail. Type in your email here, click on subscribe, and you'll be in. And you'll get a notification every time I put up a new post. And I highly recommend you do that because Lord only knows how long we'll be left on YouTube and the other channels. But then again, who knows how long we'll be online at all with all this stuff going on, right? So anyway, channel supporters right here. I want to thank everybody who's been supporting here recently. It makes a tremendous amount of difference. Takes a huge weight off of my shoulders, so thank you so much for that. But you just click on this link here, and all the ways to support us, all the links are there. We have Cash App and Venmo as well here at the bottom. So if you want to use those, you certainly can. And then to find us around the internet, Rumble, BitChute, Telegram, click on here, and all the links to find us around the internet are right there. And that will be it for now. God bless, take care. Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News.